Okay, as soon as we start talking about flip flappers, you know the first thing we need to get into is that animation. God damn. That was a straight 10 out of 10. I don't know any other way to say it. It was just so damn fluid. The character designs as they are pretty basic, but it's the art style that they're using that's so cool to me. I mean, their eyes have this cool shading effect on them where you can like see into them. They put so much emotion like inside the eyes as well. Like when they're happy, they're all bright and reflective and colourful. When they get depressed, they get all dark. It looks like they're hollow. Like you can see into them and there's shading on them. It's so damn cool. Oh man. So I really like that. I really like how fluid everything is. I mean, just when the girls are running around or playing around in the snow or dashing through the air, you can see their facial expressions moving. You can see their bodies moving fluidly. Even though it goes into a slightly deformed style, like it's still very nice. You can tell they've got like Sakuga experts on this. I don't know who they've got on this. I remember somebody was telling me during the PV reaction stream that this was going to be done very well, animated amazingly, because they had some Sakuga people working on it. I don't remember who exactly they said, but they gave me examples of what they'd done. But god damn, this was glorious looking, man. I mean, straight at the beginning, we had the introduction to our characters, Kokona and Papika. And when we saw Papika escaping the facility she was in and like getting out on her weird hoverboard thing, like that was animated so damn well. Her dodging the robot's arms and shit, slamming out through the tunnel into the air. It all looked so damn good. And it just kept going. It really did. Anytime there's a big action sequence going on, everything gets a little bit deformed. Like the faces don't look quite as good as usual. The arms are very blurry and spaghetti-y. But it feels like the frame rate actually goes up during those scenes. It's just, there's such attention to detail. When they're moving, it looks so fluid. You can see how they got from point A to point B. Whereas with a lot of anime, there's a lot of missing frames. There's a lot of laziness. You just get a lot of zoomed in shots on the person rather than focusing on what they're actually doing with their bodies. This one is not doing that, and I love it. And I love how they've sacrificed some other bits of the animation to make sure that happens. Like I was saying with the deformed features, where they cut off most of the face where things are going on. They do that very much even when a character isn't too far in the background as well. Like you normally see those kind of quality issues when there are characters far in the background. In this one, unless they're like majorly in the frame, they've basically only just got big glowy eyes rather than proper facial features. And I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with them sacrificing some of the more simple animation to make these action scenes look so damn cool. Because the story really calls for it. I mean, the story is weird in this one. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. They've got this alternate world of pure illusion. And we've got like Kokona, who is a normal girl who is worried about going to school, worried about what she's going to do with her future. She's very much concerned with what she should do and what school she could go to in the future and where she should go from there. She just hasn't made up her mind on anything yet. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we've got Papika, who doesn't seem to care about anything. She acts very much like she's still a 5 or 10-year-old girl, just running around, dashing, having fun, sniffing things, flying through the air, crashing into walls, almost killing herself because she is just so damn insane. And so they're two very different girls, but they come from very different worlds, with Kokona coming from like the normal, basic situation of being dragged into all this mess by Papika, who seemingly smelt that she was gonna be good for the scenario. I mean, this is the thing as well. There's an underlying level of darkness to this. Like, you can hear Papika as soon as they get into Pure Illusion talking about how there are objects in this world that they need to find that can grant wishes. It seems like Kokona actually found one after she did her transformation thing, this little glowing blue stone thing. And it seems to all be led by this guy, Dr. Salt, who had a little piece of the blue stone necklace as well. So I'm not sure what all of that's all about, but you can tell Papika's side of things, where they've got this whole facility and all these scientists and the robots and shit, they're not a perfectly good place. I mean, right at the beginning when Papika was like dashing out of the facility, she talked about how the partner that they tried to give her didn't work out. And we see this image of just a girl wearing very similar clothes to Papika, just dead on the ground, just gone. And when Papika and Kokona first went into pure illusion, Papika's first response was to say, "You're alive!" and like wrap her arms around Kokona. So seemingly they've been through a few girls who have ended up dying because they couldn't actually make it into pure illusion. So yeah, there's that whole level of darkness going on, a level of something being a lot more serious than they're letting on. I mean, especially at the end, when we then had all the robots with the guns show up and like encase Papika in a net and like choke out Kokona. So yeah, shit's getting real. Whereas on the other hand, the rest of this episode was just so fun and so relaxed. I mean, even when they went into pure illusion, they were just having fun, dashing around, flying through the air, learning about the environment. Then they ended up like making camp and going to bed. There were these giant monster things. Oh man, they reminded me so much of the Oma from Nazca Valley of the Wind. And now I'm starting to wonder if that's possibly where they've gotten their Sakuga master. But I doubt it. It's just they had the same kind of like eyes things, the same kind of giant size and bug body stuff. But then they had those giant tentacles coming out of them too, which were very sea slug-like. I mean, they did dash into the water. I don't know what they were. They just reminded me of the Oma of Nazca. I really loved it. And again, the animation was so fluid on all of that. We had Papika just doing her best to try and get the glasses back, even though she almost died from the experience. It was so cool. It was just so amazing from start to beginning. Everything looked so colourful. It was animated so fluid. It looked amazing. The music was on point. God, even the opening and the ending. Like, the opening is just like this nice electronic song. And you've got a bunch of the badass animation in the opening with like Kokona and Papika dashing through the air and surviving everything that gets thrown at them. So that's a very cool opening. Then it's the ending that really gets me. The ending is just such a slow and gentle, relaxing song. And then it has this gorgeous animation which looks like a fairy tale book. Like at the bottom it has all these nice little backward and forward animation things with the girls looking cute, exploring a new world. And then at the top it has all these amazing illustrations that do look like they come out of a fairy tale story. And I love that animation style. It suits this story where they're going into this pure illusion world and seemingly it's got to be different every time. I mean, this time it was like a Christmas world full of snow and ice and giant bugs in the forest. But in the next episode preview, it looks like they're going to an Alice in Wonderland kind of world, and it looks like they both turn into bunny girls during that. So it's cool. I really like this story. It looks like they're going to be exploring a bunch of new worlds, trying to collect whatever these things are that can grant wishes. It's going to be an underlying dark element to it that we're not going to see. And I just love the go between Papika and Kokona as well. I mean, Kokona started off so serious and uncaring about everything, but then she started to enjoy the whole experience and have fun with it during the snowball fight and shit. Papika, man, she was just such a child. I mean, she looks more like a normal 16-year-old girl, but then the way she acts, she's like a giant puppy. The way she was like sniffing Kokona, saying she smelled nice, constantly trying to hug her and grab her. God, man. I'm interested to know her past. Like, if she's been in a lab all of her life or what the hell's gone on with her. And then there's the whole doctors in the facility and Dr. Salt who just let everything go as it did because he knew Papika would do well. So yeah, there's a lot more to explore in this story. All I know is the animation was incredible. The baseline of the story has drawn me in, but really just watching some of the animated scenes from this would be enough to keep me coming back to this one each week. So yeah, it was a great first episode. I'm just interested to see how the story goes from here, because obviously we have just about no idea where the story is going to go. So yeah, if you enjoyed this review, wreck that like button like you mean it, and go down to the comment section and let me know what you guys thought of this episode. And if you know who is the person that's been like contributing to the animation for this, because it looks so damn good. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, wreck that like button, subscribe if you haven't already seen more, and I will see you guys next time.